We are recording, so I don't even know what today is. Today is Tuesday, January 29th. Had to look at the calendar there. It's kind of nice when you have a job that doesn't require you to look at the calendar every single day in terms of what day it is. And I don't ever write checks anymore, which is when I used to know what the date was all the time. So, anywho.
But now we don't have that problem of mixing up the years.
No, exactly. I don't think I've written the date out with the year behind it so far this year yet. So anyway, I was using this pen today in honor of the person who gave it to me. Who can guess who gave me this pen? Every fun pen that I've ever owned came from Sandy Kristoff. Yay, Sandy! So I don't know. I'm going to try and get through. I think everybody at this point knows that Sandy is retiring. And I think all of you know how much Sandy has meant to me as well as all of you in our businesses. And I would like to honor Sandy today because seriously, if it weren't for Sandy, many of us wouldn't be here. I have a puppy. Because I didn't know what I was getting myself into. Sandy knew way before I did. And so she was just a huge mentor. And seriously, I wasn't going to go to the first meeting. I wasn't going to go to a meeting because I was too shy. And Sandy said, well, yeah, you're going because I'm going and you're going with me. But then I wasn't going to go to the first national conference because it was so overwhelming to me. And she said, listen, I'm going, you're going too. And so I went. And then I earned an incentive trip after a year. And the first person I called when the home office called and told me I'd earned the trip was Sandy. And I told her, what do you think I told her?
I'm not going.
I'm not going. I can't go. And she said, yes, you are. And told me all the reasons why I had to go. And it was about being with the right people and being exposed to the right people and sharing ideas with the right people. And frankly, the right person for me was Sandy from the get-go. And so, Sandy, I love you so much. I'm so proud of you. And congratulations on your retirement. We are all so happy that you were with us for 26 years, and we wish you nothing but a long and happy retirement. So yay, Sandy. So we are so, I'm just so.
I was muted. Hold on, you got to hear my voice.
There we go.
Lindsay, did you write us a song?
No.
Oh, Lindsay, yeah.
I should have.
Well, that's okay. You still have a month. She's not actually retiring for a month. Let me get my
Okay, I have time.
wipe my tears here. So I asked if everyone would just take a minute and come up with 2 words that make you think of Sandy and your relationship with Sandy or Sandy, just 2 words just to kind of to honor Sandy. So who wants to go first?
Start. Oh,
Wendy? Well, I saw Wendy's hand first. Wendy, you go first and then Lindsay.
Okay, well, it's one of them's not 2 words, but she'll know what it means. My first word is fabulous, and the other one is gosh darn it, people just like you.
Gosh darn it.
Thanks, Wendy.
You are more than welcome. We used to call each other, and we had this bag that said those things.
I still have it. Mine still works.
Mine doesn't work anymore.
Okay, Lindsay, what did you come up with?
Okay, so my 2 words are encouraging and caring. And today I'm wearing a necklace that is from Sandy. She got it for me early on in my business, and it says, she believed she could. I'm having a hard time reading it upside down. She believed she could, so she did. I'm almost positive. I was trying to think this morning that, Sandy, you had given it to me after my advanced director promotion. And early on in my business, like maybe a few months into my business, you called me. And I just thought that was pretty caring of you because, I mean, at that time, I didn't really know who you were, but I knew you were, some high up there kind of gal, and you were calling little old me. And I thought that was really special. So I have appreciated your care and when you call me and your encouragement for my business. I still feel like I'm a baby in the business. So thank you.
That's sweet.
Thanks, Lindsay.
Who wants to go next?
Me.
All right,
I
Tammy.
said positive and uplifting. Sandy was one of the very first people that kind of took me in under her wing at conference and made me feel part of, and forever grateful for that. I've always told her she reminded me of my fabulous Aunt Janice, which is a huge compliment. And I just wish you tons and tons of great, wonderful retirement memories with those grandbabies. I know that's where you're going.
Gonna see them in a couple days.
Denise?
Mine is hospitality, because I remember one time coming to Kings Island, there was a team meeting, and it was something we had to do to stay overnight, and Sandy opened her house to me. I spent the night with her at her house. I don't remember. I know it was some kind of meeting, and she just made me feel so welcome there. And I think there were supposed to be a couple other people show up, but they didn't show up, or something happened. So it was just me. And so I really got to know Sandy then at that time. And she just took me under like, anything. And I'm greatly appreciate that. And my other one is just her knowledge. Oh my gosh, you just know so much. And I just love your ideas and everything. And Sandy, you're going to be well missed, very much so.
Thanks, Denise.
Lori?
I don't want to do this.
Okay.
Inspirational. I mean, Sandy believed in me long before I believed in myself. And I know I would not have promoted to director if it weren't for Sandy. Because same thing, every time I gave her an excuse as to why I couldn't, she had the reason why I could. She saw things in me that I didn't see. She believed in me, which made me believe in myself. And I think that's a gift. It's a gift that you can truly see qualities that someone has and help them to create that where they can see it too. And she's, I don't know, she's my friend. I've been blessed because she's not just been, the director or the person that, helped me promote. She's just been my friend. And in this business, that's such a blessing, is that we have friends that we can share things with in Pampered Chef and outside of Pampered Chef. And so she's just a friend. And like everyone said, she showed friendship to Denise by hosting her in her home, and she's been your friend through the years. So I guess she's inspirational, and she's just a true friend.
Yeah, I agree. So
We got a lot more to do.
Yeah. So the good news is you live close to each other and you can continue to be friends. And the rest of us are a little jealous. I mean, not that we can't continue to be friends, but we can't go on. So Kathy couldn't be with us today, but she sent me her words, and she said that Sandy is the ultimate leader and is a thinker, and she knows that she is the person to go to if she needs help thinking through something. And then I just wanted to add the two words that came to my mind. The first was mentor. Sandy is a fantastic mentor, and the second is friend. And I'm right there with you, Lori. So anyway, it's just I'm happy for you and sad for us, Sandy, that we won't get to see you as often, but we'll definitely stay in touch, obviously. So anyway, okay. All right. I'm thinking I should have gotten a glass of water. And my mother used to have a saying where she would say that if you were crying, whether it was happy tears or sad tears, if you were crying, she would always say, now remember, I'm from the South. So she would always say, now you go wash your face, get a drink of water, and put on some lipstick, and you'll feel better. So,
there's truth in that.
Yeah, that was
her advice.
Yeah, her solution. So anyway, so Sandy, what do you have planned for your retirement? You're going to be traveling or just relaxing? Do you have any trips planned, or what's on the horizon, the near future?
Well, this month I'm going to meet my sister. Excuse me. We're going to a Fleetwood Mac concert.
Oh, fun.
Charlotte's. And then in May, we're going to rent a house in Florida.
Oh, fun. We're in Florida.
On Anna Maria Island, right outside of Tampa, St. Pete area.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
And the kids are going to go with us.
Oh, fun.
So, yeah.
Good. Yay. All right.
So that's a start.
Yeah, that's a start. You've got the spring planned. So that's wonderful. Okay. So I have a couple of things on the agenda that I wanted to talk about, and get your input and see what everybody was thinking. So we had been I looked it up, for 15 months, not quite a year and a half, we had regularly scheduled once a month Zoom meetings with our leaders. And we kind of voted on a time and, went with, we can't pick a day and time where everybody can do it. It's just impossible, but a day and time when most people could do it. And so, so my question is, so then when Becky started doing in October, she started doing them every week. It just seemed like a lot to do one with us and then, one with her every week. And so I've been, just kind of thinking about it and thinking, so this is kind of the analogy that I was thinking, and it may sound silly, but I'm just going to throw it out there and we can discuss it. So I feel like when we meet with Becky and all of our sister and cousin and aunts and, nieces and however our relationship is with all of the directors on her overall team, that it's like a big family reunion. And we do get to hear ideas and from people that we don't hear from all the time from different parts of the country. But then I feel like when we're together, it's like if you're at a big family reunion and you've got all of these relatives from all over and you get to see them and you really enjoy it and you want to do it regularly. And then I feel like when it's just us, it's more like the sisters getting together, a smaller group, which has its, pluses as well. So I don't really know. I asked Becky last week and she wasn't sure what she was going to do going forward. Do we want to, just continue to participate in Becky's? Do we want to, go back to having our team here, once a month? Do we want to figure out a time when that would be? What are you thinking? Tell me, do you feel like your needs are being met and you're happy or do you feel like you miss the smaller group as well? Just some discussion on that so we know how to plan going forward. I was kind of looking at my calendar for 2019, and that was one of the things that really jumped out at me that I wanted to get everybody's input on.
I like the idea of doing something like this. I like the smaller group setting. Like you said, it's like meeting with the sisters. I like getting ideas from the, Becky's team and the bigger group of people, but I just don't know them as well. And I'll get to know them, I'm sure. But I like, I know you guys, and I just think it's fun to be able to bounce ideas off of people that I'm closer to.
Okay.
That's my thought.
Okay.
And I'm not opposed to once a month, even with Becky's once a week, because I can't always be on Becky's either. So
okay, I wouldn't if we do it, which is fine with me. I would love to do it. I wouldn't want to schedule it at the same day and time necessarily. I mean, that was part of the problem, was that hers are scheduled at a time that we had been using, and so I just I don't know. Any other input? So Lindsay votes for going back to once a month with us. Any other thoughts or input?
I do too. I agree with that. I liked doing it with our group. This is like a safe group. Not that the other group isn't safe, but I mean, I think we're just a little closer to each other in this group. And I love having the ideas because we've got some amazing people on the director team here. And I love just having this smaller group to discuss things also.
Okay. All right.
I would agree with that.
Okay. All right. So Tammy, Denise, you in?
I'm good either way.
Okay, so if we were to look at a calendar, obviously noon, 1 o'clock Eastern, noon Central works for all of us. What in general works? What do you think?
Tuesdays and Thursdays work good for me, but I can pretty much make anything work. Daytime, anyways. After that, it's madhouse. About 4 o'clock, my kids get home.
Sure. I totally understand that. I think I'm pretty flexible as long as I know in advance I can put anything on my calendar in terms of the day of the week. So I am totally flexible. I know Wendy's told me that Mondays are bad for her. Any other day of the week bad for you, Wendy?
Wednesdays are bad.
Okay.
So Mondays and Wednesdays are bad. Tuesdays, Thursday, Fridays are fine.
Okay. Tammy, what about you? Just thinking forward, not necessarily, this month.
I'm
but
the
in general.
opposite. Tuesday, Thursday's bad, but it is what it is.
Is
I mean, if we
one-
do it, well, the problem isn't Becky's calls usually on Wednesdays.
Becky's are on Wednesdays, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's a moot point. So,
Right.
I mean, yeah, Mondays are definitely out. That's the day I have coaching calls scheduled all day long.
Okay. All right. So, Tammy, when you say Tuesdays and Thursdays are bad, but I mean, you're on now and it's a Tuesday, is there a time that would be better than another to make it work on one of those
I'm
days?
right smack in the middle of the day, and that doesn't work with everybody else. So I have Colton at least from 10 to 4 on Tuesdays and Thursdays, minimum.
Right. Well, I'm just going to throw this out there and tell you that, and I know that it means that you are distracted, but Colton doesn't bother me in the least. I mean, I don't care if you've got the sound on and we can hear him playing. I mean, I don't have any problem with that at all. At all. At all. Especially since you have the capability of muting if he needs something and you need to say something to him, you can mute yourself, and we're totally understanding of that. I mean, seriously, that's not a problem for, I don't think, any of us at all. We've all been there, done that, with kiddos. So I know that it's a distraction for you, but I think he's more of a distraction for you than he is for us. I think you don't want him to just be a distraction for us, and he's really not. You know what I mean? So, Denise, do you have an opinion on it?
I'm pretty open as long as I've got it planned.
Okay.
As long as it's before 2 o'clock, so I can head out to go get the kids.
Okay. So before 2, I'm gonna hold on. I gotta I can't get the cap off of that pin Sandy gave me. It's cute and all. It just doesn't work as a pen. Okay. So, and I shared this on my personal team Zoom meeting last week, and I don't know if y'all can see this or not. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
See the brand? They're called Friction. Wendy's got one too. They come in all colors of the rainbow, and they come in 2 styles. They come with a lid like that, or they come with a clicker. And they are very smooth writing. They write fabulously, and they erase better than a pencil.
Mm-hmm.
And they erase better than a pencil. I mean, they erase so perfectly smoothly without in any way messing up the paper, or scraping the paper. I love these pens, and they come in probably, 20 colors. And so I've been using it to color code my calendar. And whenever so this is what I've been doing, for years and years and years, I used those tabs in my calendar. And I saw on one of the many Facebook groups that, can you see that? So that is red where it says an asterisk and the word show. And then instead of moving the tab, I can erase if somebody needs to reschedule. And I love these pens. And so what I've done is in my money bag for my shows, I put a red pen with the erasable tip, because a money bag, I don't ever take the pens out of there. If I put it in my regular bag, pen bag, I'll never see it. But I put a red one in there. I put a red one in my purse, and I put a red one in my desk drawer. And my goal is to never leave those spots with the pen so that I always have access to the red pen. But on my calendar, my shows have, since 26 years, my shows have been noted in my calendar in red. so that at a glance, it's the color that sticks out to me. And anyway, I love these pens, and they are easy to find. Target has them. Home Depot has them. I was telling Darla about them. We had breakfast last week, and she told me that Home Depot only had 3 colors. Target has like 15 colors.
Home
Yeah.
Depot or Office Depot?
Office Depot.
Office Depot, yes.
Okay.
Office Depot. I'm sorry. Did I say
I'm
Home
like,
Depot?
wow,
I didn't know, but
I think Walmart.
You know what? Home Depot may in fact have them. I
They
don't.
may.
But I can't vouch for it. And Staples would have them too. They're easy to find. They're called friction pens, and
You can get them on Amazon.
you can have them on Amazon. And the color selection is fabulous, and they write really well. I was skeptical. I had bought some like they look like pens, only they're mechanical pencils in different colors, and they were awful. Like you couldn't hardly erase them, and you couldn't really see the writing, but these are fabulous. So anyway, I way prefer them over a pencil, but I love that they erase like a pencil. And I've already gone through and basically marked my calendar, and I color coded it and marked my calendar for vacations and holidays and shows from now until July. And speaking of July, everybody has conference on your calendar, right, in July? Starts on the 25th. It's earlier this year, but later than it used to be. It's kind of I don't think we've ever been in Chicago on the last weekend in July before. So has anybody looked at hotels yet? I neither. Or airfare, but airfare, since it's at O'Hare, is a pretty easy thing to do for anybody who flies. And I know that, Tammy and Denise, y'all sometimes fly and sometimes drive, don't you? So anyway, but just make sure that it's in your calendar because it's such a different time of year. I almost overlooked it. It's a totally different time of year. So anywho, okay. So I wanted to show you my cool pens. I'm a little bit obsessed with them. And then also I need help. And I need help from all of you people who are smarter than I am. So can we talk about spring launch and how you're going to do it? So the video that they're telling us comes out this Friday, I think it's this Friday, is an hour long. But there's 2 options. If you go on the website, there's 2 options. And one is the long video and one is the short video, which is 30 some odd minutes.
I'll tell you what I'm doing.
Tell us what you're doing. How are you going to do
I
it?
personally think, and I felt this way since they started doing the videos, that the videos are too long.
Mm-hmm.
They're full of great information, but I feel like they should be watched on someone else's time, not in a meeting setting. I feel like that makes it boring, but I don't know.
Yeah.
That's just me. So all I'm going to do is show the quick little sneak peek video that we watched in the email. That's it. I'm going to have the products out on my coffee table. We're going to watch that video, and then we're just going to carry on like any other meeting. That's just my opinion.
Okay. And so, all right. So good. I'm glad you said that. So a couple of questions for you then. Are you doing your meeting live or are you doing it virtually?
Well, both, but it'll be mostly live. I only have a couple of people that'll Zoom in.
Okay. And are you going to do then kind of like an open the box sort of, have the products boxed and introduce them, or are you going to have them already out so people can see them? How are you going to do it?
I'll just have them out.
Okay.
I've done it different ways. I feel like it just kind of makes it harder when, like I've done it where they're boxed up and I take them out as they're shown on the video, but sometimes the boxes are hard to get off the product and then there's the mess. And so I'll just have everything set out, undone, and they can check them out as they come in and then, watch a little bit more about them in the video. And then of course we'll talk about them, but I just feel like it's easier that way.
Okay. All right. Good to know. I agree. I think that was my problem, Lindsay, was an hour of a video. And why do they need to be together to watch that? That's what it has felt like to me. Mm-hmm. But then I thought, well, maybe I'm missing the boat here. Maybe there is something about watching it together, but an hour video.
That's it. I know with our meeting, we're having everybody bring a dish made in stoneware because that is the February
That's good.
house special. So we don't want them to miss out on February. So we're having everybody bring a dish to share in the stoneware.
Oh, good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Good
Any
idea.
of the dishes, any of the stoneware pieces that are on special, which are all of them, including the glazed ones.
Cool. That's a good idea. I might switcheroo that on my team. We always bring a snack to share, but how cool to have it in stoneware.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's an
And we're
easy thing
having,
to do.
and everybody on the event page is posting which piece of stoneware they're using. So we're good because they're trying to get a variety of stoneware.
Oh, cool.
Mhm.
You create an event for your meetings?
Yes, we do. We do create an event on Facebook for our meetings.
Oh.
You know why I create an event? Is because then I can message people. So this is what I've discovered, and it's irritating, but it's a fact of life. And here's the irritation part. You know, we're all grown-ups, and everyone should have on their calendar when the meeting is, because it's really not a surprise. Right? However, what I found is if I send out an email meeting reminder, I don't get, nothing happens. If I remind on a group, with the exception of leaders, because leaders are way more in tune, I don't get much of a response. If I make an event, I'll get a couple of responses. But if I go into the event and hit message members or whatever it's called, that's where I get the response. It's so I can send out individual messages without having to click and make individual messages. I can send it out to everybody in the event.
Right. Yeah, you can send the same message to everybody, but it looks like it's just coming from to one person. And I do the same thing.
Right, but yeah. And so that's the reason that I make an event, is just because it's easier to communicate reminders to everybody and make sure that everybody saw it.
True.
I think it used to, you know, before Facebook started really, you know, moving the target, so to speak, you could message everybody in a group, and you can't do that anymore. So you have to go in individually and do it. So anywho, but that's, you know, and you all understand, this comes up every once in a while, and I'll read it in a group, and it always is kind of shocking to me. The people that complain about how Facebook is making it hard for us to do our business, you recognize that Facebook wants it to be hard for us to do our business because they don't really want us doing business on their platform. So that's why, you know, they.
So speaking of which, this is kind of a change of gears here, if that's
okay.
Last night, or maybe it was the night before, I had seen a post from, Tammy Hunter, maybe? And I don't remember where it was at, what page it was on, but she had posted that she messages each of the guests after the party to remind them, and with the shopping link. And I used to do that, and then I quit doing it for whatever reason. And last night I went ahead and sent messages to all 4 of my parties from last week and just sent them a reminder. And I think I got $400 in sales just last night from that alone. I mean, seriously, it was like, why did I ever stop doing that?
Right.
I'm sure not everybody sees them, but you know, when you get a message request, it doesn't ding at you anymore. But if you open up your messages, it'll say so-and-so sent you a message or whatever. You can see it there. So as long as they're opening it, they see it. I just thought it was kind of, I don't know, an eye-opener for me. Like, so why do we quit doing things that work? I don't know.
Right. Yeah, I agree. No, that's great. I know whenever I have hosted, like last January, I hosted a Norwix party because I wanted some things. I was too cheap to pay for them. And so I hosted a Norwix party online, and I had a $2,000 Norwix party. And the way that I got those sales was by sending individual messages to everybody who participated. I mean, that's when orders started coming in. So it definitely works. I guess I was under the impression, so I'm really glad you brought this up, Lindsay. I was under the impression that if I'm in a group, you know, so there's a Facebook party that's being held in a group, and I'm not friends with everybody in the group, that my message wouldn't get through to them. Is that not true?
Well, that's what I'm saying. And I started doing my parties in events again. And so I just message them from the event.
Because that you can do for sure.
Terry, they'll get a notification saying that somebody that you have, because you're not friends, but the
message
notification that they have a message from you.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a message request, and it's not one of those things that it doesn't ding at you like Messenger does. It's just there when you open up Messenger. So they have to be, you know, on Facebook. They have to
Right.
open their messages at some point, so they may see it too late. Who knows? But obviously, people were seeing it last night because it made a big difference in the sales of the party.
Nice. And did you just send the same message to everybody? Just, hi there or whatever?
I personalized it just based on the host's name and the host.
So what'd you say, Lindsay? What was your words?
Okay, I'll tell you. There's a lot of them. Hold on, let me find one.
Will we post it on our leaders page?
Yeah, it just
Awesome.
says, good evening. Thanks so much for joining Erin's Pampered Chef Party last week online. We really appreciate that. Hope you enjoyed the show. And if you didn't get a chance to watch it, you still can because I changed my party style. I don't post, I just do one video. And you still can. I'm just helping her finalize her show and help her hit her double free goal. The party closes on the 30th. If you wanted to check out her show link, here it is. And then that was it.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Okay, now we got to go back again. So you changed and you're doing one video. Tell us more. What are you doing? How are you doing it?
Yeah, I was just kind of, I was bored with my videos, even with an outline. I was just doing 3-day parties where I posted, one night, one recipe, the next night, another recipe, and the next night, another recipe with the closing stuff and whatever. It was maybe like 8 posts an evening over the span of 3 days, but I just started to lose, with making it difficult and whatever. I started to lose anything. The parties were just kind of all duds, and so all I do is my little tasty style videos. You guys have seen the posts that I make of me making a recipe, but it's just kind of spanned down. So I have 3 or 4 of those that I've made. And then I create a beginning intro video and then an ending closing video. And I mash them all up using an app called InShot. So it's me and my
kids. Called what?
InShot, INSHOT, super user friendly. And so my, beginning video is just it's almost the exact same things I say at a cooking party. My name's Lindsay. Welcome to the party. Welcome to my kitchen. I'm excited technology allows us to do this. I talk about the quick cooker because that's the tool that I'm using. I talk about booking parties and I talk a little bit about the business. And then at the end, wow, what did you think of that recipe? It's literally like a 2-minute video. I have a party tomorrow. I can add you guys to it if you want. It's so
Yes, please.
simple. Yeah.
Okay, so wait, yeah. Okay, we're gonna go back here. Okay, so I'm loving this because I had gotten where I was just dreading Facebook parties because of how long they lasted and the posts and stuff. So you've got an intro and an ending, and they're the same for every single video. That doesn't matter because you're mashing them together using. I'm sorry, say it again. InShot or InShot?
Shot. SHOT. InShot.
I'm glad I asked because I put a P. Okay. And then in the middle, it's a recipe.
So at the end of my opening video, it's blah, 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 blah. And without further ado, here's the recipe, let's get cooking or whatever I say. And then it's just this tasty video. There's music. It's, these, piano music. And it's just me kind of speeding through doing a recipe. I have a Parmesan soup one, salsa chicken tacos, and then in between it I make rice, and then I have another one, Swedish meatballs and salad. And so it's just these quick little videos with, words and sticker, kind of some fun stuff on them, quick through maybe 2 minutes, and then there's the closing video, and that's it. The entire show is like 7 minutes.
That's what I wanted to hear. Okay, so
and, I actually have had a couple of my hosts. He's hilarious. I've had a couple of my hosts tell me how much they appreciated how very simple it was. And I've had more parties qualify. They still haven't all qualified, but I've had more parties qualify this year than, I was just the same as you, Terry. I was just they were all duds. I was so annoyed by them, that I dreaded them. I didn't.
That's a good way to put it. Annoyed by them.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, all right. We need more information. So are you like doing post party? Or are you doing
I do one
or is it all just a 1-day thing?
Yeah, I do 1 or 2. I set up the party the day before and message my house. I have an Evernote file of everything I do. I can just share that on our leader page, but
that'd be awesome.
I think there's 2 posts the night before the party and 1 post the day of the party. And then there's a couple of posts afterwards, like maybe 1 the next day and 1 2 or 3 days later, a reminder. I'll just upload.
And then that way people can go back and watch the video whenever it's convenient for them. They don't have to be on live because you're not on live.
Yeah, they can still comment, and I encourage them in the video, be involved, comment, tell us your favorite stuff, act like we're in the kitchen together. And so some of my parties, I have people asking questions during the video, and some I don't really have much at all, but I know that people, are watching it because I also have a secret word at the end of the video, and they message me the secret word.
Of course you do. And so are you on whenever you say, okay, the video will be posted at 6 p.m. tonight, are you on at that time so you can answer questions, or you just go back and check them whenever it's convenient?
Yeah, sometimes. I mean, I usually, my party time is 8 p.m., which just so happens to be bedtime, which is stupid. I should probably change it. Bedtime for my 5-year-old anyway. So sometimes I can, sneak a peek at my notifications and answer questions. And sometimes I can jump back on 10 minutes later, and it doesn't really matter because it's so quick and so easy. By then I've gotten messages from some of the guests anyways, because they're sending me the secret word, and I'm getting those message requests too, because we're not friends. So it doesn't chime in. I just have to open up my messages and see it. But it has simplified things so much for me. I only do them on Wednesday nights. I've had anywhere from 2 to 4 parties every week since the beginning of the year, and I'm having a lot more success with them for sales.
I noticed that your sales are you're all doing great this month. So
this is probably my best January my entire time with Pampered Chef, I think. It's not my best month, but it's my best January.
Right. And when did you start doing this format?
1st of January.
Okay.
Yeah, I was sick of them in December. By the end of December, I was like, I don't even want to do virtual parties anymore.
Right. You wanted a change. Mm-hmm. Oh, I love this. Awesome. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
I'll invite you guys. If you guys want an invite to the party, tell me, because Facebook's changed something. I don't know if you guys noticed this or not. Oh, Wendy, go ahead.
No. I'm saying invite me.
I want to be invited.
Me too. Okay, I'll invite you guys. Facebook has changed things now, and it's weird. I don't even know why they did it, but once the party's done, you can't invite people to it anymore.
No, you can't.
What the heck? So you can't, they have to be invited before the party happens in order to see it.
It used to be that it was based on the end time or day, that as long as they were invited by the end date or time, and now it's the beginning.
Maybe that's it. Oh, okay. I was going to say maybe that's it, because when I create these parties, I only put start time 8 p.m., end time 9 p.m. I give it a whole hour, even though it's not really that long. But I'll invite you guys to this one.
I would love it.
Darling.
Love it. Interesting, because that's all right. And so when you did the video, you just did it during the day when your house was quiet and put a camera over your food, like hanging up, or just like in front?
So, yeah, the videos that I make using the InShot app, doing like the quote tasty video, it doesn't even have to be quiet in my house, because you can mute the video and then add music over. So it could be, my kids could be fighting with each other, the TV blasted and the dog barking. It doesn't matter, because I can just click on the video, turn the volume all the way down, and then once I, mash it all together, then I can just put dub music over the top of it, because it doesn't have, there's no talking. Although you could do talking over it if you wanted instead. I just prefer to type some words, add 1 tablespoon of this, you'll just see. You just have to watch them. Okay. They're a little time consuming to make, but once you've made them, you can reuse them and reuse them and reuse them. Like I said, I think I have 4 of them, and I'll just decide based on the host or my mood which one I'm going to mash up. And I usually use the same intro and closing video, although I've changed that depending on if I want to say something different or change the secret word or whatever.
Right. Okay. Awesome. Well, speaking of apps, Debbie Kimball on one of the calls recently talked about the Word Swag app, and I had never heard of it. Maybe all of you have already know about it. It was a free app, and it's like one of the coolest apps ever in terms of making easy pictures that you can superimpose words over, and they have a vast library. So I was gonna when you open the app, there's an area that says, can you see it down here, that little magnifying glass? It says free photos. And so you click on the free photos and you can put in the word kitchen, or like right now, like for themes of a show, like if it's a, Italian theme or Mexican theme or barbecue theme or whatever, you can put in whatever that word is, and it brings up stock photos that are fabulous pertaining to that word. And there's also like a blur where you can make it a little bit blur if you want, and then you superimpose the words on top of it. And so anyway, I had never heard of the app before, and I have really struggled ever since. What was the app we used to use to make invitations to send to hosts? Red Stamp. This is so much easier to use than Red Stamp was. And you can superimpose as many words as you want, and it can actually show you all the different fonts, and you can scroll through them when it's superimposed on the picture so you can see exactly what it looks like on the picture. And so I've been making them for my host and sending them to my host, either for her, from me to get her attention, or like yesterday, I had a host who ended up changing her party and turning it into a catalog party. And so I sent her one, and I've been just making them, like here's one. Can you see them? If not, I can put them. So that's a picture. That's one of their free pictures. I mean, and I sent that as a thank you after I closed a show. And you can use your own pictures. It'll take you to your catalog. I mean, your photographs, your camera, mm-hmm. Or you can use theirs. And there's another one of theirs. And that recipe night was going to be the carnitas from the quick cooker. So I thought, I mean, gosh, it's a really good picture. Why? I don't need to reinvent the wheel here. But you can also do, like, it gives you, for every single picture, it asks you what format you want. If you want it to be square, and it says square, and in parentheses it says Facebook post, or Facebook cover, or Instagram post, or
it
whatever.
Sounds a lot like Canva.
Yeah,
like it.
Yeah. Only I think it's easier. I think it's easier to use than Canva. And so anyway, it's really fast, really easy to use, and it will format it automatically to wherever you're going to use the picture and how you're going to use it. There's one for text, Instagram, Facebook cover. It's pretty cool, actually. And it was a free app. It's free. And it was very, very, very user friendly. That was the biggest thing is I have Canva. I have used Canva. I struggle with Canva. It's not easy for me to use. And maybe it's just, a mental block with me. I don't know. But if you struggle with Canva, it's a good alternative. So, and it's called Word Swag. And I really like it a lot, a whole lot. So, all right. So the other thing that I have here, any other thoughts on spring launch? Anybody doing theirs virtually? Because I think I'm doing mine virtually. I have local people that come. There is not anybody who does anything. I mean, they literally don't do anything in terms of sales. And it's more of a social thing. And I feel like they'll also be on virtually, but I can pick up some people that live out of town and I can record it and they can watch it later. So I think I'm going to do mine. I was thinking I would do it as an open the box, and take things out of the box. But Lindsay, you make a good point. If they're already out of the box and all lined up, it's a cleaner, neater presentation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a mess to get them out of the box.
Mm-hmm. I'll tell you what, it's a mess to get them back in the box. We pulled them out, my kids and I then I was trying to put them away nice. Yeah, I don't know how they get them in there in the first place.
Yeah, I agree. I usually end up putting them back in the big box without the little boxes because it's like a jigsaw puzzle that you can't.
Has anybody tried the new, I don't know the name of it, the one that spins out
the grater thing?
Yeah, the grater. Has anybody tried that yet? What do you think?
What'd you make, Wendy?
Because it reminds me of the old one that I didn't like. I can't remember the name of that one either.
So the one that suctioned to the counter, supposedly?
Yeah, it didn't, though. It didn't.
Right.
It is amazing. Mr. Ben, who never comes into the kitchen while cooking, because I might ask him to do something, came in and was like, I want to try it. So he did all the slicing. we made the General Tao's chicken.
Oh, how was that?
It was yummy. It's really, really a yummy recipe. And so we did the zucchini in it. Let's see. So we did let me look on the list here. So the onion, the zucchini, the cabbage, the carrots, we're all done in there.
Wow, a nice
Cabbage,
variety.
everything was like magic. I mean, it was really, really easy. It works perfect. It's amazing.
Can't wait to use it. Well, we made bubble waffles last night for dessert.
I can't wait to make those.
My daughter did it, actually. I shouldn't say I did. We did have a hard time at first using the batter dispenser. But we figured it out, and it's phenomenal. Also, super easy to use once you know how. Yeah. And the waffle pan, it was fun. Those are the yummiest, cutest little waffles you ever did see. They were just fun.
Yeah.
Cute.
So I noticed in the videos and everything, though, even though they showed them rolled up, they didn't show them picking them up and eating out of the rolled up waffle.
Yeah, I would say this, and maybe we did something wrong, but they kind of were not. I don't know how anyone could use them as like a taco shell. They kind of just fell apart. I mean, they were still really good, and we got them to stick together eventually. I think it depends on how much batter you put on there. The amount of batter the recipe says to put on there, I don't really think is enough. It said 3 squirts on the medium dot. I would do, I don't know, 4. At least we did. So, but they were tasty. Even just alone with nothing on them, they were good. So that's all we've tried so far.
I did use the wok. I did use the wok also, which is fabulous. It's fabulous.
Okay, I have a question about that cookware. So it's Byron's favorite cookware. You know, the nonstick stainless is his absolute favorite cookware.
Same with Paul.
Loves it. I mean, he uses it for pancakes. He uses it for grilled cheese sandwiches. He uses it for cooking. He loves that skillet. I have a problem with it. I have a problem with how, so you know, on the inside of the skillet, there's that inch band of stainless. Mine has a buildup on it. And I mean, we wash it, and I admittedly am a little anal about it because I'm taking it to shows. So I want it to look really nice. And so I will wash it, and I'll use, you know, a little bit of stainless cleaner just on that section, or I'll use, you know, I'll really rub that area around the top, and it is still stained. And the back of the skillet is discolored. It doesn't look like stainless anymore. It has kind of a rosy tint to it almost.
I use Barkeeper's Friend on mine.
Even on you're not supposed to use Barkeeper's Friend on the nonstick part though.
Oh, I don't. I use it on the outside.
On that edge, on that side.
On the edge, on the back side.
I've been using our stainless cleaner, but I'm about out of it now.
Yeah.
Barkeeper's Friend. I made eggs in the new skillet this morning, and of course, I'd rather do them in the nonstick skillet.
Well, yes.
They stuck a little bit. I did put some butter in it too, so.
I tend to lean towards my nonstick as well, but I did look up wok recipes because I was like, what's different about a wok? You know, why should I use this as opposed to something else? And something that I came across talked about how it distributes the heat evenly. I mean, like all the way up the sides. And I thought this was cool. You could saute your onions and your mushrooms in the bottom, and then stick your uncooked patties on the outside. So you're cooking your patties on the, you know, the wall of the wok, and then you're sauteing your veggies on the bottom. I thought that was kind of cool. You can make popcorn in it too. I found a whole.
So patties, what are you talking about? Like doing hamburgers and then sauteing onions or whatever?
Yeah, so you make your hamburger patties on the wall, so like the wall on the inside, and then on the bottom, the very bottom of the wok, you're sauteing your mushrooms and your onions to put on top. So it's kind of a 2-for-1, I guess. I don't know. I still am not entirely convinced that I would need it over something else, but that's just me.
I use my old wok.
Stir fries, kind of.
Right.
Yeah. I use my old wok for stir frying. We stir fry quite a bit. It's a great way to use up odds and ends if you have 2 carrots left, or, you know, if you open the fridge and you've got a little bit of this and a little bit of that, it's a great way to I just stir fry a bunch of vegetables with either shrimp or chicken or whatever. So we use our wok quite a bit. Plus, it's nice and deep, although we have other deep pots now too. So, well, we didn't used to. Remember, it used to be a deep pot we had.
I know. No,
I'm still waiting for my third box that has my catalogs and my season's best cookbook. And I was so disappointed. Because while I have the products, you want to see them in the catalog and have all the information to go with them. So
the catalog's beautiful too.
It is beautiful.
I saw the picture of the front. So hopefully my FedEx guy comes today with my third box.
So my FedEx, I got an exception email on Saturday with my FedEx, and they said that it was being returned. It wasn't deliverable because I wasn't home on Saturday. And not only was I home, I was still in my pajamas. It was like 9 a.m. And so I called them, and they had lumped it together with somebody else's Pampered Chef order.
Oh, no.
And that was going to a business. And it wasn't one of my shows. So of course I'm thinking, well, who the heck is that? But anyway, the guy who talked to me on the phone brought it to me. He went out to the warehouse and brought it to me. Yeah.
That's cool.
I know. So, and then I did end up getting all of them, but I've only opened the paperwork box because I really was trying to decide what I wanted to do, and y'all have given me good information, good ideas. So Denise, are you doing a local, like a regular spring launch type meeting?
I haven't decided yet. I haven't done anything in the past because I'm like you, Terry. The ones that were coming to my meeting didn't do anything, and it was just hard taking the time to do all that. And they weren't even your sellers. They were just coming to socialize.
Yep.
So I haven't done one in a while, but I'm thinking about it, but I haven't decided.
Yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm pretty sure I'm going to do, I was debating between a Zoom meeting or a Facebook Live. But I'll tell you, one of my pet peeves in life is when people do Facebook Lives and they're so distracted by what the messages are, that, they're like straining to see, and they're going, oh, hey, Sandy, you're here. I'm glad you're here. And that sort of thing. I don't like that at all. So I hate to do that format for that reason. But
one of the things you could do, and we've done this in the past too, where we've gone live on our organizational pages, the fact is you have somebody helping you out. You may go live, but you have somebody that's there to answer any questions.
To read or to say them out loud or what have you.
Correct. So you're not saying, and you're not worrying about looking at those questions. Somebody says a question, or somebody says, hey, Terry, that
right.
person can answer. Hey, thanks, Sandy, for joining us.
Right.
So you do it with somebody else, and they can answer, and they're just there to monitor the comments.
Yeah. And Denise, you can have Allie do that.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of fun. She's old enough now.
Oh yeah, she's 12. She'd love to do that. Something like
that. That'd be kind of cute. That'd be kind of fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Or Andy. Andy's into it. He's the first to open up all my stuff and pulled everything out. So he's being my cook right now. He's being my little chef, or tall chef. He's taller than me.
Yeah. So, and whichever one you think, or you could, if you pay them, then they could alternate who helps you with which meeting or what have you. So I don't know. I think I'm going to do mine Zoom. My only problem is what I found with a lot of team members that aren't very, like, we are all kind of accustomed now to doing Zoom meetings and different things, but Zoom, can be intimidating to people who aren't very technologically savvy, or don't have jobs where they've done video conferencing, that sort of thing. It can be a little bit intimidating, I think. So anyway, all right. Well, I guess we should go because our hour is up. All right, so I'm just going to put this out there, and y'all just raise your hand. Should I put on our Facebook group a poll for choose between this day and that day, or should we just set a day and call it good?
Set it.
Just set it.
Set it. And
yeah.
If you can make it, you can. If not,
watch the replay.
Okay. All right. So, all right. And I jotted down everybody's preferences. I'll kind of look at that and compare it to my calendar, and then I'll just put it out there, and I'll just maybe announce the next 6 months worth of dates or 3 months worth of dates or something like that. 6 months?
6 months. I say 6 months. Just let's get it on the calendar.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That sounds good. Excellent. Very good.
Make it a whole year.
Yeah. I don't know. I stopped at July was my on my calendar. I started thinking, now you're just making stuff up. You don't have any idea what you're doing in August. Now you're just making stuff up. I know we're going to a wedding in August, and that's all I know. So, all right, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Sandy, we love you.
Love you too.
Bye, Sandy.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
All right. Have fun with these new products.
We will. We'll talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, children. Bye, sweetie.